Two. Welcome back, everybody. One of Biggie's Buzz podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be covering March Madness, the Pelicans who are hot, opening day, which starts on Thursday, and LSU baseball and their struggles. Connor, how we doing?
Shout out Mercado. Thank you for sponsoring this there the other day. Food was phenomenal. And I know Brock feels the same. Pelicans, like Brock said, have been playing good basketball. They lost to the Cavs the other day after having a double-digit lead very late into the game, the Pelicans way, but they are playing better objectively. Came here to listen for is March Madness. I mean, Madness, there was fights, there was chaos, there was mayhem. Everything that happens in the tournament happened. From Ortega Oweh's wild shot to the two head coaches, Iowa and Florida going at it. It was unbelievable. Great first weekend. We'll start with that Kentucky-Santa Clara game. I mean, that was unbelievable. Santa Clara hits that three from a local kid. That kid went to Ponchatoula that hit the three. His name eludes me, but yes. Hits a huge three to go up by three. Everybody thought the game was over.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, it's March. Ortega Oweh gets the inbound pass, dribbles down the court from half court, banks in off the backboard. The Santa Clara coach was calling out. Referees didn't see it. Kentucky moves boat raced by Iowa State, but we won't talk about that. Shout out my Cyclones. Let's see what. High Point, Wisconsin. Unbelievable game. I mean, I thought High Point was dead. I really did.
Yeah.
And then
Chase Johnson did what everyone talked about.
Madness happened. Chase Johnson, he made his first two of the game of the season, and it wound up being the game-winning shot that elevated High Point over Wisconsin. But I mean, those two games and so much, it's unbelievable. Now, if you think NIL money in college sports has changed college basketball, the landscape of college basketball, it's changed the landscape of all college sports. Objectively, I mean, the athletes are getting paid now. They're going to go to the schools that have the resources. The madness is still there. It's chaos. Basketball is a crazy game. Anything can happen. And, I mean, you've seen that so far. I mean, Florida went down yesterday. And, yeah.
Alan Graves is the
That's it. Alan Graves. Good.
And yes, while I agree with you that the NIL is changing, college sports, specifically March Madness, that is objectively true. And for me personally, I think for the better, because while yes, I like upsets, everybody loves upsets. I don't want to St. Peter's play in the Elite Eight against Arizona and get annihilated. I want to see a good game like we saw, I think we're going to see with Arizona and Arkansas. If we saw Arizona and High Point, with all due respect to High Point, Arizona would have ended their season pretty handedly. And for those who do like the Cinderellas, I think those are done because as the one Cinderella this year, I guess the two is 11 seed Texas, who's in the SEC, and 9 seed Iowa, who's in the Big Ten. Two very big NIL programs. Regard, yes, it is ruined, but in terms of runs, but I think it's for the better.
Okay.
Objectively, because I like to see better matchups. I don't want to. The only exception is Louisville. That team was objectively good enough to beat top teams. We saw them do it, what, 3 times, 4 times, all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, it view a better champion, which is the best team fielded. However, you had VCU beat North Carolina, a big blue blood from down 19, another crazy game in the round. I guess that was the first
a lot
round.
of comebacks. So,
South Florida almost came back and did it against Louisville. That was phenomenal.
Duke had to come back. 15 seed Siena.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was insane. That's what I'm saying. The madness is still here. Just a quick run through of the games. Georgia got violated by St. Louis. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That TCU Ohio State game, Brock.
Amazing.
That was amazing. Were you in class when that happened?
No, that was on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
So
that was the very first game.
That was the first game, yeah. So I didn't have class. I was able to watch that whole game before going to class, and just all year, TCU was awful shooting, and they come out in the first game and just look lights out from beyond the arc.
And then Ohio State comes all the way back. They were down 15, I want to say at halftime, 15, 17 at halftime. Come back, take the lead late.
Yeah,
but can't get it done.
Same with who just did that yesterday? Oh, Virginia. They were down the whole game, came back, but then Tennessee. We'll get to that. Tennessee ultimately got the job done. And thank you, Tennessee, because I had you moving on.
Yeah, and Bucky Ball. They simply outran St. Mary's. St. Mary's tries to slow the game down. I feel bad for you if you had St. Mary's winning multiple games. That should never happen. Um, and then moving on, we have a great game here. 11 seeded Texas upsets number 6 BYU.
Was it a? I wouldn't say a great game. It was really the AJ
AJ
DeBantis show.
Devance is fun to watch. So,
Yeah. I think he solidified himself as the number one pick, along with Darren Peterson, who we'll get into. His story kind of came out, and you kind of feel for the guy. I don't know
Darren
if you've
Peterson?
seen. Did you
What was
see?
that?
So we'll talk about it real quick. So basically, at the beginning of every dance basketball, they do like a Bill Self. He's done it for years. They do like a basketball boot camp. And what happened was Darren Peterson was like balling out. He was like the clear cut best player, number one overall pick. And one day he got a full body cramp and put him in the hospital for a couple days. And there was another athlete that came out. He did a TikTok video that I saw. I really wish I knew his name. I would shout him out. But he basically said like he went through the same thing. He was playing baseball. The same thing happened. And then from there on out, every time he would like feel like a strain or something, he would get scared. So that's kind of what Darren Peterson was doing. He would feel something. He'd think back to when he was put in the hospital because his whole body was cramped up, and he'd be cautious and take himself out. Now that's kind of concerning for an NBA team, though.
Definitely.
If he's going to keep doing that, now I think he did do it well. Like he handled it well throughout the season, because he was healthy for March, and good Lord, he was Kansas's whole team. In that beginning of that first game or the second game, I'm sorry, against St. John's. But it is kind of it. I'm glad we got closure about the Darren Peterson situation, especially for that kid. Did you feel for him? All the hate he was getting.
Yeah, no, he's going to money. He's going to be very successful in the NBA. Moving at VCU, North Carolina, we talked a bit earlier. Terrence Hill Jr. I mean, that dude was unbelievable. Completely took over.
You know who plays for VCU, by the way?
Brandon Jennings.
What?
Yeah, there's a dude named Brandon Jennings.
Well, Tyrell Ward, former Tiger.
Really?
One who hit the game winner against Kentucky a couple years ago. He's on that team.
Okay. We touched on Louisville, South Florida. South Florida's themselves too deep of a hole, and they still almost came back out of it. I think they started 1 for 20 from deep. Yeah. You know, teams doing that. Vanderbilt McNeese, it was close for a while. It was close for a while. But Vanderbilt them. High Point, Wisconsin, that game was amazing. And then you had the games Arkansas, Hawaii, Troy, Nebraska, Illinois, Penn, just outclassed, and then North Dakota State, Michigan State, just completely outclassed team threes.
That was a good game.
Now, I will say Kennesaw State,
Gonzaga that was a good game for a little bit.
Yeah. The writing was on the wall for the Zags, and then they got eliminated next round. So shout out the Owls. They really did hang in. 6 seed coming out of Conference USA. And Conference USA is not a big conference. No. So seeing that out of the Owls made me happy. And like you said, Brock, Siena fought with Duke. Man.
Selfishly, I wanted Duke to win because I had them going far, but I would have loved to see another 16 seed upset, especially the number one overall seed.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Siena, I'm sure you saw this. Siena didn't make a single sub.
Not one.
Like, look, your starters were in a groove, obviously, but you gotta, if you're a coach who he just got hired by Syracuse, actually, you gotta make them like at least get some starters some rest. Like I feel like if they rested their starters just a little bit, they could have won that game.
Yeah. Shout out Jerry McNamara. That's his name.
Yeah. G-Mac, as the Duke coach put it.
Sure.
Did he play at Duke or did he play college basketball somewhere? Because I know they said something like,
I'm not sure.
They like put up his stats, and he was actually a really good college basketball or a really, really good player.
I'm not sure. Moving on to Saturday, I guess Friday, second day of the first round. So it was pretty chalky, but you had
Didn't all the favorites win on day two? I'm pretty sure.
Looks like
I think all the favorites won on day two.
Yeah, that the Kentucky game, I mean, speaks for itself. That game alone makes up for everything.
Yeah.
Just the amount of emotion. My dad was actually at this game,
really?
And he said the Santa Clara fans were going nuts, and then Oweh hit the shot. Kentucky fans were going nuts. UCLA, you
so glad. We're gonna get to this. I am so glad their coach is a terrible person.
I told you.
A terrible person. Oh my God.
I can't stand Nick Cronin. I can't stand him. Glad they lost. I'm not the biggest, but I'm glad UConn handled them. And I mean, like, if you watch that game, UCF was everywhere. They were
Mhm.
like all out of sorts, no fluidity at all, and they had many chances to win that game.
Right.
And I mean, for Christ's sake, I mean they scored on their own basket. I don't know if you saw
Yeah,
that.
I did.
John Bol scored
his own basket. Um, and then they would
That-
obviously go on to lose. We'll get into that later. What you got?
I was gonna say one team that's a par is Alabama with all the distractions that are around
definitely.
them. They handled Hofstra
I mean, the,
last night. Which
I think every Alabama kid, if you can't make 80 free throws in or 83 pointers in like 20 minutes,
like
you're not on the team.
that was like incredible. They didn't miss. I feel like they did every time they shot a three. It was like, okay, yep, it's going in. Like Texas Tech couldn't do anything.
No.
Like on offense or deep. What game was it that they couldn't? But
And LSU hung in there with Bama.
yeah, but that's what I said before the tournament. Bama's a team that they get hot, beat anybody, and if they can go ice cold, they're not. They
That's why Hofstra was such a popular pick.
and see Bama is hot right now, and I would not be shocked if we see Bama beat Michigan.
That's going to be a good game.
It is.
Because anything can happen.
I think all the Sweet 16 games are going to be phenomenal games.
Yeah.
Except maybe Nebraska, Iowa. That's going to be a low scoring game.
Yeah.
Nebraska, man.
To think one of those teams is going to be in the Elite Eight
Yeah.
is kind of weird.
Which shout out Nebraska. Before the bracket came out, I was high on Nebraska, but then when I saw they were going to play Vanderbilt and then possibly Florida, I didn't pick them. But they're proving everybody wrong. Vanderbilt was like 2 inches from winning that game. That sucks. I mean, Tyler Tanner puts it up, and I think the entire arena thought that ball was in.
Dude,
Like, we were this close from having another moment in March, and we were robbed of it.
that might have been in March
If he made
history,
that,
if he would have made that.
March history. I don't know what March history, but
That
nothing's gonna top winner.
in the round of 32.
Yeah, that would have been.
Like, I can't. The ball hit everywhere in the rim. It just didn't fall. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
Tyler Tanner's a beast. And the one thing with Vanderbilt, you have to rebound. I mean, Nebraska got so many offensive rebounds late in the game, and it led to them winning. It literally led to them winning. And then the transition defense was non-existent, which is what put Nebraska up. But that was one of the best games I have ever watched.
Agreed.
Arkansas High Point, if you had Arkansas going deep in your bracket, I know you were on the edge of your seat. Shout out High Point, very fun team this year.
They'll be back next year.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
confident.
Illinois took care of VCU. Texas upset Gonzaga.
That dude from Texas, his name will lose me. The point guard. That dude, he's legit. What is his name? I know.
Let's see. Is it? Oh, Pope. Pope.
Is it Pope?
Yeah.
That's not him.
That's not him. Well, he had a pretty big game.
Whatever it is. Texas, that is what I'm saying. Like that's the Cinderella this year, but it shows the NIL money that the SEC has. Like an 11 seed is like they comfortably got through BYU and then Gonzaga. I didn't watch much of this game. I was watching the St. John's game. That was the same time, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. There was another game going on, so I wasn't.
St. John's was yesterday.
I was kind of flipping back and forth, so I wasn't really watching this game. But every time I turned it on, I feel like Texas had a lead. So they comfortably.
They
took
were
care of it.
controlling the game. It was close. But they were always up the entire game by like 4 to 6 points. Shout out the Longhorns. Shout out the Longhorns.
Did not watch Louisville, Michigan State. Not gonna.
I didn't watch that game, and I didn't watch St. Louis, Michigan. Shout out the club baseball team we were playing.
Duke TCU was. Look, Duke has been my most shaky team.
Yeah, but when they figured out TCU, it was a complete outclass.
Okay. Did they go on like a big run? Like
TCU was up. I want to say when the score was in the 40s.
1-58. So,
and then Houston. I think as of right now, if I had to pick a national championship, it would be Houston versus Arizona.
I agree with that.
With flip a coin for who's gonna win.
Yeah. However, for Duke, Isaiah Evans is coming back. Caleb Foster is coming back. Which obviously would be huge for them.
Yeah.
And I mean, Duke versus Houston, a rematch of last year's Final Four. If you're not tuning into that,
We could have gotten.
I apologize.
Could have gotten a Florida versus Houston rematch, and then a Houston versus Duke rematch in the same year. But Florida, who was my most on KLSU shout out on the Sunday show actually yesterday. Before the game, I said that one of the questions was which one seed's most likely to fall, and I did say Florida because I just didn't think they were.
I thought Duke was your team.
What do you mean?
I thought you just said Duke.
Well,
was-
yeah, no. As of right now, yes,
Oh.
I'm saying, but like when the question was asked, I had Florida was the most likely one seed to fall, and we saw exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah, I mean, the whole season you were penciling in those three teams, and then
Yeah.
Florida was kind of the wild card. Everybody fell in love with Florida because they really came on towards the end. But then they got outclassed by Vanderbilt, and then obviously they just fell to Iowa. If you let a team like Iowa hang around, that's not a recipe for success. Um, Arizona, Utah State, I was on the edge of my seat for that one. Utah State, I think they made it a 4-point game late.
They battled.
They fought.
Let it slip away in the end.
Yeah, they fought. That's kind of been a recurring theme with a bunch of these games. Purdue, Miami, another one that was super close. Purdue just pulled away at the end.
My apologies.
Another one with UConn, UCLA.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But all these,
Tennessee, Virginia.
yeah, majority of the round of 32 games were close, and then the better team pulled away at the end.
Except for St. John's, Kansas.
That game was insane. Dylan Churchbell,
Darling. If you know, you know.
his first time dancing into the Sweet 16 in 11 years. I mean, that game was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, they sloppy as hell first half, and then St. John's goes up.
I think they might have been up like 17 at one point.
It was
It was a lot.
It was looking like a rout.
And then I refresh my phone after like 15 minutes. Kansas is down by 3.
Yeah.
Then Kansas ties it up.
Yep.
Darling happened. That game was insane.
Dylan Darling, who, by the way, didn't have a point on the game in the huddle. Said this in the post game. Dylan Darling, right? He draws up a play for himself, and then Patino walks away from the huddle and realizes, wait, he doesn't have a point, but he just drew up a play for himself, and then he used his offhand to score the basket.
Dylan Darling
Had made 4 right-handed layups all season.
Yeah. And he just sent his team the.
He just sent his team with a right-handed layup to the Sweet 16.
I would argue now that was the best game of the round of the summer, hands down.
Yeah.
Like
That game was crazy.
it was phenomenal.
I think Iowa, Florida would have something to say about that. That
Yeah.
game was pretty good. Oh wait, you forgot about Vanderbilt, Arkansas, or Vanderbilt.
Nebraska, yeah.
That second round was awesome.
Second round was good. Second round was phenomenal. And Elite Eight, not Elite Eight, sorry, Sweet 16.
We're gonna give our preview on that on Wednesday because the games are
Okay.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 preview Wednesday.
Tune in Wednesday.
Going to be fire. God,
See
these
what
games are heat. 2 loaded slates Thursday, Friday, and then you'll have the Elite Eight.
Michigan, Bama matching up once again in sports. I feel like we've seen them
It's so weird. You're right.
so many times
So weird
in football and now basketball.
everywhere. But yeah, I guess now we can move on to opening day.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
We don't really need to give. I mean, Pels are still 9.5.
Keep James Borrego, baby. Keep as long as
DeJounte.
the Pelicans stay healthy, they will be a playoff team next year. Hopefully, when the NBA finally expands, that the Pelicans move to the East. Because why in the world is New Orleans on the West? Like in the West. Make that make sense.
Please move us to the East.
But that's a different story for a different day. Let's get into opening day. My favorite time of year when March Madness is going around. Opening days in the air. College baseball is in full swing with conference play, which we'll get into in a second.
NFL drafts coming around.
Yep. Speaking of, shout out to LSU Pro Day, which is going on right now. Harold Perkins and Mansour Delane both ran sub 4s. Sub 4.4s, sorry. Sub 4.4s in the 40-yard dash. Now, that was what LSU timed them as. Is that the actual? Probably not. But shout out those guys. Mansour Delane continues to shoot his name up the draft board, along with Harold Perkins.
I mean, Mansour Delane is really increasing his draft stock, man.
And a guy like Harold Perkins has expressed his interest in New Orleans, along with other guys. Like, I think we touched on this. Like, Arnell Tate has expressed he wants to play with Tyler Shuck. Harold Perkins wants to come play for the Saints. Jeremiah Love said that.
Something about that culture, man.
That's not going to happen now.
No.
I would think. And
Shout out Travis H.
I wonder what's going to happen. Yep, HN. HN?
HN.
HN. Yep.
HN.
Now, it still remains to be seen what's going to happen with Camaro.
That is true. That is true.
I'm very intrigued to see.
I'm very concerned about him and Cam Jordan right now. Very
Yeah.
concerned.
Cam Jordan, it does not sound like it's coming.
Which it's so crazy to me. It's really
But, look,
bizarre.
when you want to be, the Saints want to go where they want to go, they have to make some sacrifices.
You have to do that.
And look, as a Cubs fan, I've been through this. Okay, when we had to get rid of
Good
Rich Ryan
transition. Good
and
transition.
Anthony Rizzo and Javier Baez, Ben Zobrist, Kyle Schwarber, and the list goes on and on. I remember exactly where I was for that. But it's a new team. It's a new year. Opening day starts Thursday, and I can't wait. The Cubs will open with the Washington Nationals at Wrigley, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's at home. Matthew Boyd will start for the Cubs. Obviously, the World Series favorite is the Dodgers because who else would it be? They just,
Reload.
I mean, one of the best rosters ever assembled. Is that crazy to say? With all the star
Dog.
power
I mean, they added Kyle Tucker and they added
Edwin
Edwin Diaz.
to an already loaded roster.
No, it's the best roster.
I mean, it's just like they're DFAing guys with a sub 4 ERA. Like that's just that doesn't happen. Um, and that's what needs to change with baseball. I was gonna make a TikTok on this, I just never did because March Madness was starting and all this. Um, just the problem with baseball and how to fix it. I don't think there needs to be a salary cap. I do think there needs to be a salary floor. Um, just first off, the players aren't gonna agree to a salary cap because why would they? But I think a salary floor needs to happen. Because while the Dodgers are not the problem, they're definitely not helping it out. There's both ends of the spectrum. There's the Athletics, the Orioles, the Brewers of the world, and then there's the Dodgers, who are the complete opposite side, where they're spending all they have and more. And then the Brewers and Orioles, who are just trying to break even, if not trying to like profit the owners. So I fully expect there to be a lockout, by the way, in 2027.
I think that's consensus at this point.
Yeah, and even Bryce Harper came out and said that. And it's kind of frustrating seeing how electric this World Baseball Classic was, and which we didn't talk about. And opening days come around, and just for the season to be most likely either canceled or not canceled or postponed next semester, next year. Sorry. But we'll talk about now. Opening day is here. Who do you
We open with the Giants.
Giants?
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Max
Yeah.
Fried. Yeah, you're right. Dodgers obviously the favorite. I mean, outlook, the Blue Jays were very fun last year.
Mhm.
Gave the Dodgers pretty much all that they could handle.
Yeah.
But this year, they are a better version of last year.
Yeah.
A much better version.
Which is
So
Just-
take that with what you will. It's baseball. Anything can happen. You know that.
agreed.
But this Dodgers team is unbelievable. And look, I mean, you saw in the team of Avengers, the USA lost to Venezuela. They lost to Italy. Things can happen. But you mention it. I mean, some of these teams are very weak. The Rockies.
Yeah.
I mean, normally the guy or the team you go to is the Pirates. They actually did spend some money this offseason. It's not going to, no, I'm not saying it's going to translate, but they did at least spend some money. But yeah, no, we love baseball. We love the MLB. Can't wait to turn it on, watch it on Thursday. And like Brock said, I mean, it's the best time of year. It really is for sports.
Yeah. Other than college football, like the start of college football, I would say this is
And football season, yeah.
yeah, this is just as a baseball guy, so I'm just in a great mood. I love baseball. The one thing that sucks is the Cubs first pitch is at 120 and I have a class at 130.
Another thing that sucks is LSU baseball.
See, now you're gonna have to fight for it too. So now we're gonna have to fight for it too. Yes.
I was just using it as a trick.
Yes, I know. I know what you were doing.
Baseball has had their struggles to start the season, no doubt. Since starting 8-0, the team is 8-9. Wow, what's going on?
I wish I could
Look,
tell.
I'm gonna give it.
No.
I am so confused. What is
Yeah.
going wrong?
That's what I'm saying.
Because
When one thing
you
goes right,
return
yeah.
a lot of your guys from last
Mm.
year,
Okay. Yes.
position players. You lose
You return.
Ianson, you lose Anderson, obviously huge. Case and Evans looked good in his last start.
Yeah.
Good's an understatement. He looked phenomenal in his last start. William Schmidt has been good. The lineup is just so confusing to me, Brock. What is going wrong?
So I talked about this on a KO show yesterday, and basically, what I said, the only two guys that I'm confident when they go up to the plate right now is Omar Cerna and Jake Brown. And I mean, how could you not be? Those two are mashing the baseball, especially. I don't think Omar Cerna is coming out of the lineup the rest of the year. unless he goes on a crazy slump, which I mean,
He's going to be either playing first or catching.
yeah. But I think these guys are pressing right now. And what I mean by that, specifically, I'm going to look at Derek Carriel, who Derek Carriel is trying to impress the scouts right now and not do what's best for LSU to win.
Elaborate.
He's trying to pull balls, hit balls a mile, and you show the power that is the only thing that he didn't have last year. And he's a draft. This is his draft year technically because he is a draft eligible sophomore. So he's trying to prove to scouts that he can hit for power. And I think that's causing him to strike out more and pop up more, which we're seeing, and roll over to first base and second base, which we're seeing a lot of, which we didn't see much last year. He was more gap to gap, get on base, just single.
Infield singles.
Yeah. And I think he needs to get back to that because if you get back to that, the power will come. If it gets back to just gap to gap, singles, getting on base, I think that could unlock a new feature of this team. And I think that's happening with a lot of guys. All these guys, Stephen Milam, it's also his draft year. He's pressing. He's trying to show scouts the power and all that. Now, thank God for Stephen Milam's defense because I don't know where this team would be without him.
His glove is actually otherworldly.
The play he made against Oklahoma on Sunday or Saturday, sorry, was just one of the best plays I've ever seen in person. And that's not even hyperbole. I mean, he made it look so effortless. It was incredible. But I mean, look, what's frustrating is when the offense does well, the pitching is atrocious.
They can't all put it together at the same time, which is really frustrating. And you need to be putting it together.
And I'm still gonna have faith because it is LSU, it is Jay Johnson. He's shown to to fix a team like this, like the 2024 team. Very similar. They came off of a national championship team. Now the one difference is they had a lot of new players, and this year they have a lot of returners, or a good amount of returners. But I don't really know how to fix it because obviously JJ need to fix it, so I don't need to know how to fix it. He needs to know how to fix it. But
we should watch.
Yeah, agreed.
And talk about it.
Yeah. And what is also concerning is you lost a home series in the SEC, and now you're gonna have to go on the road and win a series, which is very challenging, especially with a road series this year. I know they go to Knoxville, to Oxford, to Starkville, Georgia, and the other one eludes me. Vanderbilt. They already went to Vanderbilt. So they're gonna have to go beat a very good team on the road, and they welcome a very good team this weekend with Kentucky. I think they're ranked 15th in the country.
Yeah, mid-teens.
Yeah, they just lost the series to Ole Miss, which was a road series, which shows how hard it is to win on the road. And another thing that's concerning is what's gonna happen with Cooper Moore. How long he's gonna be out, if he's gonna be out at all. I don't think anything's come out on it, unless I missed something. If Jay Johnson said anything.
Injuries like that, I mean,
yeah. What is concerning is when they came out to check on him, he didn't throw another pitch. Like usually some guys will try to throw a pitch,
see if it'll loosen back.
He didn't throw a pitch. So who's gonna be the Sunday starter? I don't know, but this seems to be a common occurrence with Jay Johnson at LSU. It's not knocking on him. It's just most college teams don't have a Sunday start like a game 3 starter, and LSU was lucky enough to have that this year.
Had it.
And
Christ, William Schmidt.
William Schmidt. Now we get to see the 1-2 punch of Casey Evans and William Schmidt. Because I would assume Schmidt's going to start on Saturday. Even if Moore is good to go, I don't think they're probably gonna give him as much rest as possible. So I'm excited to see Schmidt because he has commanded the mound amazing.
I've loved watching him.
I mean, complete 180 of last year. Now,
sometimes his pitch count can ramp up a little bit.
When you're striking out that many guys, it's got to exactly. Same thing with Paul Skeens.
His stuff.
I'm not comparing Will Schmidt to Paul Skeens, but
quite yet.
Paul Skeens was throwing a lot of pitches. He was striking everybody out.
Yeah.
So that's why. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the team right now?
No. On everything. One last thing. I mean, you saw Paul Maneri got fired.
I did. South Carolina. Parted ways. He stepped down. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Writing was on the wall.
It does suck because I did want to see him return back to the box.
Yeah,
later in the season, but they are just brutal. I mean, you think LSU's got it bad? Go watch South Carolina.
Which is a very potent baseball program,
and they have less fans in their stadium than LSU basketball. And for reference,
wow,
yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. And that's why LSU fans are the best, by the way, because with baseball struggles, you still see
it's still
everybody's packed. Yeah.
Yeah, like tomorrow, me and Brock are both working the baseball game. It's going to be packed. They play La Tech on a Tuesday.
I don't know about tomorrow, but this weekend for sure. Doesn't
It
matter.
might not be packed. There's always a good
Yeah,
crowd.
there's a good
There's
shot.
always a
Yeah,
good crowd.
for sure. And Louisiana Tech's not going to be an easy game. By the way,
No game seats.
um, I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
Will they turn it around?
I hope so.
I still have faith because it is. I'm sure this team's way too talented.
That's what I think is going to get them there. It's the talent. But that's all we got. Anything else before we head out of here?
I don't know off the top of my head. No, I think we're good.
Sweet 16 preview coming Wednesday. Can't wait. Thank you guys for listening. We will see y'all later. Peace.